Hello, dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. As always, guys, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable. For personal readings, all the information can be found down below in the description. All right, so we have Capricorn, Capricorn Aquarius. Well, I was gonna say Sagittarius. We just did Sagittarius, Capricorn. You gotta go in your own lane right now, okay? Love you guys, but it's not your turn anymore. It's Capricorn Aquarius Cusp. Okay. And again, guys, these are general readings, so only take whatever applies. We have this energy of my time, right? And I feel that because, when I was, I knew what I put up there, right? And I'm like, okay, it's Capricorn Aquarius, but for some reason, I wanted to say Sagittarius. So a lot of you are having this tug of war or having this fight with yourself about showing up for you, about making yourself a priority. Now, this can stem, let's put it this way, from growing up believing or feeling like you have to put others before yourself. And as admirable as that sounds, there's only so much, or for so long, let's put it this way, that you can live your life putting others before yourself before it actually catches up on you. And it usually catches up on you in many different ways, right? It can be physically, it can be emotionally, mentally, etc. So, when you're starting that journey, right, of putting you first and making yourself a priority and getting to realize, right, and understand that it's not about being selfish in the way that people put a stigma on it. Because when people tell me, oh, you're so selfish, I feel like, oh, hell yes, I am. I am very selfish, right? I am. I'm very selfish with my time. I'm very selfish with my time to myself. Because guess what? If I am mentally not there, spiritually not there, emotionally not there, and physically not there, I am not going to be of any good to anyone. It's just a simple fact, right? And that's kind of like the way that you have to look at life. A lot of people are going to judge you, especially when you start down that path. And this is more for those individuals that were raised with that mentality that you always put others in front of you. And it's like, there was something like, let's put it this way. There was an example. And growing up, I always saw my mother serve my father food first. And in no way what am I about to say next is it deeming or judging anything like as far as culture or anything like that, right? Because it is what it is. And I have a clear understanding as to why it's done that way. But there was something that my dad once told me. He was like, if I'm cooking or if I'm hungry and I have other people around me that are hungry, I'm going to feed myself first so that I can have the strength to then serve those around me. It's kind of like the same thing, like if you're in an airplane, right, and the masks come out because of the oxygen and the level, right? They tell you to put yours first before you help somebody else. And even though, he looks at it from a different perspective, my mother looked at it from a different perspective. Now, are either of them wrong? No, they're just different opinions. But there is a difference in the way that you are raised, right? So my mother has always been somebody that would always put her needs aside for someone else. So she doesn't know how to put herself first. You know what I'm saying? She just doesn't know how to. To her, that is something that is no, you don't do that, right? And it's almost kind of like when you're raised a certain way, And I get about, like, you know, when you're in a relationship and you serve your partner first or whatever, when it comes to different cultures, it's done for different reasons. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you make it a life habit to deny yourself of that time with yourself to serve others, right? So if, let's put it this way, if I'm being told by spirit, like, okay, you're going to go into a 3-day fasting for this, right? We're doing a very specific fasting for delivering people that are addicted to, let's say, heroin, right? And that is something that I am being asked to do, right? If I go ahead and don't spend that time fasting and meditating for that specific part because somebody physically in front of me is asking me either to give them a ride here or to give them a ride there, at the end of the day, I'm not being myself. Because the way that I look at it is like that, yes, even though spirit is sending me into fasting and meditation for a purpose, underneath it all, there's always something that I gain from it. There's always clarity. There's always something that comes from me. So this whole energy of like putting others before you is not just in the physical sense. And I feel that a lot of us want to just attach that term to the physical term. So when somebody does physically take some time for themselves, they're judged in regards to it. And that's why when, you know, when people have said in the past that I am a selfish person, I'd be like, yeah. Because nobody knows what happens behind closed doors. Nobody knows how many days or how many weeks or how many hours I spend doing other things. Just because I'm not physically doing things for certain people doesn't mean I'm not doing it. You get what I'm saying? But that only became a way of life, let's put it this way, when I learned to listen to what I needed. Okay, what does Perla need at this moment? What does Perla need? Is that a nap? Is that a walk? Is that this? Is that, you know, what does Perla need to eat? And things like that. And not rushing through the things or through the time that I set aside for myself. Because it's not, I'm not, let's put it this way, I'm not going to shortchange anyone else because I don't shortchange myself, right? So when I spend the time with myself, whether that is exercising, whether that is meditating, whether that's going for a walk, whether that's napping, I emerge into it 110%, right? I give all of me to that moment, to that space. I am literally there, aware of everything. Because that is how I want to show up in every aspect of my life. But you have to be able to do that for yourself first before you can do it for others. So let's go ahead and see what we have for tarot. So anybody that is criticizing you for you taking you time, whatever that looks like, that's going to get your nails done, getting your hair done, getting waxed, whatever it is, you time, like my time, is different for everyone. And let's put it this way, the outcome that is going to come out of it is literally you standing in your truth and you living the way that you want to live and living the life that you've always dreamt of. And the only way that happens is by you showing up for yourself every single freaking day, however that is. So we have the King of Wands in the reverse, the Knight of Cups in the reverse with the Queen of Wands in the upright position. So you're no longer waiting for other people's approval. You're not waiting for people to invite you to be a part of something. Let's put it this way. You're not... It's almost kind of like, to be honest with you, the only word that keeps on repeating in my head is approval. Like, you're done wanting and needing other people's approval. And one of the biggest shocks that I see in life is like when you've needed and wanted someone's approval multiple times and you no longer need it nor want it, it's almost kind of like they're shocked that you grew past it or that you overcame that. And a lot of the times you would get a certain reaction as if what you are doing is wrong. And it's because they've lost that power over you that they've had, right? Because when you are constantly wanting and needing someone's approval to go ahead and do whatever you want to do, they have the power to manipulate which direction you go. Because if you say, oh no, that's not right, you're going to go ahead and do what is not right in their eyes and not what is coming from you yourself. So there is a huge power exchange here, where you may get you may get somebody that may be very upset over you not wanting nor needing their approval anymore. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pull out a love energy card. Now this is the dark mirror deck. Give me one card, Spirit. Number 21, the bride in cage. So a lot of you may have felt like you were the bride in cage. You may have felt like you couldn't do anything, like you couldn't be yourself, you couldn't express yourself, because there was always somebody there telling you like, no, 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 right? And it almost became like this space where you finally saw that you were the one allowing someone to have that much power over you. You were the one that was allowing someone to dictate what it was that you were going to do with your life. And now that you're getting yourself out of this cage and you're choosing to ask yourself and want and need your own approval for the things that you are going to do or that you are doing, this person can definitely sense that they no longer have any control over you. But that control that they had over you was something that you had given them by constantly needing their approval on something. And what is it? They say the givers have to set the limits because the takers never do. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a closing message. A closing message. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. This whole thing of you literally constantly putting yourself aside, putting your needs aside, is coming to an end. And there's going to be so much freedom that you're going to feel from this. There's going to be this space of you just being at peace with yourself and you just living your life for you. And these don't have to be drastic things, right? But again, a lot of the times you didn't go after things because you wanted someone's approval. You wanted someone to tell you, yeah, that's the right way. Yeah, that's the right path. Well, guess what? Sometimes the right path may feel and look at the moment like it's the worst decision you ever made, right? But there's a reason for it. There's certain things that need to be torn down in order to go ahead and get to where it is that you're being led to be at. And so for a lot of you guys, this whole energy of like focusing on you and like really committing to that time with yourself has been a very strong struggle. But it's been worth it. Well, guys, that is all that I have. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.